Second video on optimizing mobility around the birthing space. Now, our first step in this process is going to be self-massage, where we're going to want to hit the muscles that are directly involved in the birthing process, such as the adductors or inner thighs, the posterior hip capsule and outer thighs, and the muscle in our quads. All right, all of those areas are going to be engaged during the birthing process, so we want to make sure that they're as strong and supple as possible. Now, something to note here. During the first trimester, a lot of this stuff can be done on the ground with things like foam rollers and balls and that sort of thing. But I'm also going to show you a way to do all of this in standing. And as the belly grows, and this stuff becomes impossible to do on the ground, we can just carry this up and do it on the wall as I will show you. All right. So the first area that we're going to work on is the adductors. And one contradiction with the adductors to watch out for is a place called the femoral triangle. All right. And that's simply just a bunch of muscles, a bunch of nerves that are grouped together in the inner thigh. Okay, so if anything starts to feel numb or tingle, obviously we want to stop. Okay, so our first exercise is going to be just rolling our inner thigh. So I'm going to take a foam roller here. I'm going to turn it to the outside. I'm going to straighten my leg out. And I'm just going to roll here from side to side. And again, I'm just being very careful to move very slowly. Be mindful of those nerves that we talked about. And when we find a spot that hurts, we just kind of focus on that area. And again, with this, I'm looking for about 30 seconds of pressure. This is not something that we want to do over a long period of time. Okay, so once I hit my inner thighs, we're going to go to what we call our lateral quad. Okay, with lateral quad, I'm just going to straighten my leg out, cross one leg in front, roll from the base of my hip down to my kneecap. So we're just going to come up and down, once again for about 10 rolls or so. Notice I'm moving slowly. All right, from here, we're going to move to the hip rotators or the side of the butt cheek. All right, so you'll notice I'm kind of shifted off to the side. What I'm going to do is cross one leg or the other and just roll up and down about 10 times. Okay, and we're going to finish with the anterior hip. Okay, so these muscles sort of in the front here. And this is a small area. It's between sort of the crest of the pelvis and the hip bone here. So I'm just going to move it to the side a little bit and just rock from side to side. All right, now what I can also do when I find trigger points in certain areas is I can take a tennis ball, I can simply put it in that spot, again, and just do the same thing. Just cross my leg and roll, get it on the side of my hip and roll. So this is a good alternative, maybe if you don't have a foam roller, okay? It just, warning, it hurts a lot more, okay? So now I'm just going to bring the camera up. And we're going to talk about doing the same stuff in a standing position, all right? So we're going to start with our inner thigh. Again, we're not going to roll per se, but all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of segment each area. So I'm going to start with sort of my lower inner thigh. I'm just going to put the roller here and just kind of push it into the wall and just roll side to side. And what I can do is I can have somebody stand behind me and just put a little bit of pressure there just to give me a little bit of sensation. And again, that's not going to be as maybe hard as the ground, but it doesn't necessarily need to be. Keep in mind that light pressure is what we're looking for here. It's not like you're getting like a really deep massage. It's more like just pressure to tell the muscle to release. What we can also do is take the ball and do the same thing. Just kind of put it in that area and just press down and roll. The same rules apply for the outer thigh here. What I like to do with this one, I'll just find an area, just kind of come up and down my toes. I could just lean into it a little bit more to get some more pressure. I'll move it down a bit. Same rules apply. Again, certainly we can always use the ball. And then I find that the ball is useful for the butt and the side of the hip, on the wall, because it's, the roller it's hard to get pressure in there. So all I do, I'm gonna put it in my butt, let it sink in. A lot more bearable on the wall as well with the ball. And I'm gonna finish on the side here. Same deal. And again, I can just kind of step my foot out a little bit, if I'm really feeling saucy that day. Now, the one, so again, I'm just rolling up and down. Just let it sink in. Now, the one alternative that we have to all of these things, if nothing really works, that's uncomfortable, whatever, is a massage stick. Okay, and there's a product called a Tiger Tail that I like to use a lot. oftentimes I'll use that. You can even use a rolling pin. I'll just illustrate what I'm talking about. So, I just kind of have a dowel rod that's cut in half here, and again, the same basic rules apply. I can just bend my knee and just roll up and down. Again, you want to massage state for this and get straight. But this is a little bit more non-invasive, and you have a little bit more control over it. So that's another option. The other thing that we could do, roll down the side, and then, for the butt and the outside, I would use the ball. But that gives you an idea. Again, about 30 seconds of pressure is what we're looking for there in each area. Try to do that every other day or so, and you'll really maintain, the suppleness of those muscles as we go.